Over 200 voting members of the Washington County Republican Central Committee showed up early to cast their electronic votes for the new clerk-auditor. The special election was held by the county's Central Committee to replace Susan Lewis, who resigned last month. Because Lewis was a Republican, the selection was made by voting members of the Washington County's GOP Central Committee. The use of the electronic voting system by phone was then tested prior to the party's vote.
If you vote twice, both votes get thrown out. So do not submit that ballot twice. You only do it once.
Prior to the vote, a long discussion over voting rules and how to vote ensued. Some members wanted to vote by paper ballot.
I move that we not vote electronically for this election today and that we employ the allowed backup method of casting our votes with paper ballots instead.
Okay, so let me explain his motion and what we can and cannot do. So the only way that we can do that is to amend the bylaw, and that deadline to amend a bylaw is passed.
It does clearly state that we will vote electronically. That system is available today, and it also a backup obviously implies that's because the electronic system is not working. It's working right now. So we are, right now the bylaws require electronic voting. So if you're saying no electronic vote, that would require a bylaw change, and that bylaw change was not submitted timely.
A motion to appeal the decision was made, so a manual count of the voting audience by standing votes took place. First, those who stood for and then against. This revealed the motion failed. The votes then had to be cast by phone using an electronic tally. The 5 candidates whose names were placed on the election ballot each gave short statements of their personal platforms.
Let me share the things that I've already implemented as well as some of my future plans. In our ballot processing center, I have had additional cameras installed for better coverage of the ballot work areas. I have had the wireless network cards removed from the laptop computers located in the ballot processing center. I will be conducting hand count audits at the precinct level to ensure the tabulators are reporting accurately.
Number 1, smashing the voting machines. Item 2. Everybody will be welcome to participate. Number 2 is canvassing and making sure that the county commission does sufficient canvassing to validate and confirm our elections. I noticed bad state laws. Again, we all have to be able and willing to communicate with our state legislators.
My business and life experience has taught me that truth above all else is critical. Through truth, we can begin to have trust, because there will be transparency so that all can see and judge for themselves. Let us work together to bring truth, trust, and transparency to this office. Have the confidence that I will listen to you and the work will be done for you, not to you. Vote Tim Taylor for County Clerk-Auditor.
By electing me, you establish and renew the checks and balances of the people over the necessary bureaucracy in our county government. By electing me, you will have a public servant, not a career politician or bureaucrat. It's bigger than that too. Since November of 2020, we've been told, trust the machines. It sounds like a tagline from a really bad sci-fi movie. Computers are more trusted than the people is unacceptable.
We need to secure our elections by hand counting every election to double check the machines and verify the results. I support no digital passports or digital ID, period. Last but not least, we need to make sure our county investments are not with companies involved in the ESG platform.
After all the candidates spoke, the votes were taken by phone, tallied, and ratified. Sullivan was the final winner, receiving 114 votes of the 204 total. The final vote tallies will be placed on the website for transparency.
My number one goal is to operate in the law, and if the laws happen to change, we will follow the law. That's the one thing I can promise Washington County, is that I will follow the law. I am also going to do some hand count audits on some of the precincts to make sure that the machine is tabulating correctly. And I'm hoping these measures will, it's not going to please everyone, but it will give me some assurance and our staff, and I'm hoping the public as well.
In Washington County, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.